Welcome to the instructional video for the Tranquill Woodcraft JS3. The set screw at the toe end of the device allows you to open the JS3 to 90 degrees to cut flat ring segments. Undo the cam handle and open the hinge until it stops. Using a square, check that the device is at 90 degrees. Adjustments can be made from the front using an Allen key to access the set screw. Set the number of sides or segments by threading the detent pin through the detent plate at the appropriately labeled hole. Make sure that the tip of the detent pin fully engages in the V-groove on the angle plate behind the detent plate. The splay angle of the final piece is indicated by the angle of the detent plate. To splay the sides outward, loosen the cam handle and open the main hinge to the desired angle. Then, lock the cam handle. Lastly, unlock the reference arm and set it so the bubble is centered in the spirit level. Place the heel end of the device against the rip fence and bring your miter gauge up against the reference arm. Set the miter gauge so that it is touching the closest edge of the reference arm along its entire length, and the heel of the JS3 is firmly against the rip fence. Setting the blade angle is easiest when the blade is at its highest point. Push the reference arm of the JS3 against the plate of the blade, allowing the teeth of the blade to sit in the notch on the reference arm. Then, tilt the blade until the plate of the blade is flush against the face of the reference arm along its entire length. Make sure that the base plate of the JS3 is still solidly on the tabletop. I like to cut two shallow grooves on each side of the board. This will serve as a place for rubber bands to go in order to hold the piece together during assembly. Now, start cutting pieces. Your first piece is a waist block to establish the miter and bevel angles. Use a stop block against the rip fence in order to measure out your pieces. This will prevent pieces from getting stuck between the blade and the rip fence and minimize kickback. Then just finish cutting all your parts. Some painter's tape and some rubber bands are all you need for assembly. This is an example of a finished piece. It uses both splayed staves for the bottom and segments for the top. Both were set up with the Tranquill Woodcraft JS3.